Perhaps I told you this already, but I have got a friend, well, another friend of Serbian origin. And during the Australian Open, or rather I should say during the tennis, the summer of tennis, he made a tweet saying, "Oh, the Australian Open, the only time when Australians correctly pronounce Serbian names."
Names.
But I love the fact that he called it the Australian Open.
Openich.
And
That's
indeed,
great.
like you listen to on the telly and you hear it, right? Like it all of a
Yeah, yeah.
sudden, Cilic becomes Cilic. You know,
Yeah. They make
Martinovic
an effort.
is Martinovic, not Martinovic.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Medjedovic is Medjedovic, and the list goes on. And come the night of the final, following day, we are back to Ilic, Opakic, Antic.
That's right.
Antic is one of my all-time favorites. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a classic. Right, on to chess, senor. On to chess. Today we are going to look at a game which has absolutely zero relevance to any openings that you play with either color. So we could say that coach is already on fire. But what is 100% guaranteed is that you are going to have an absolute blast.
Might you be able to share your screen?
I did not think that was necessary, but given that I'm halfway through the game, I guess there is a case to be made for screen sharing. Okay, so now you get to guess the opening because, yeah, I already played it. I will cover it up on the screen so you can't see it because I'm a legend.
I think this is a Nimzo Indian.
That is very, very well put, and we are going to stir back into the E3 mainline territory here. And I'm going to chuck out a few moves. Now, can you guess why this knight is going to E2 and not to F3? The answer is not really intuitive. I don't know. Maybe it might be to you. Go on.
Well, because we might want to play F3 and then E4.
You are on the right track. Having said that, why do you think we need F3 to play E4? You know what I mean? Like, E4 is good to go. We don't need F3.
Yes, that's true. But F3 also has that kind of prophylactic thing of stopping knight G4.
That is...
If you want to play bishop E3 after E4.
That is true. But, okay, so let's imagine that this story goes from move to move like a chess game. So black plays castles, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's assume we play E4.
E4.
Yeah, a natural, typical move would be in that context bishop A6. I very much doubt that in this position you would want to play bishop E3 with white.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah? So, on that note...
does the knight go to F4?
Nope. No, it does have something to do with not being in the way of the F-pawn. You got that right.
So we want to play F4 in that case.
Yeah, that's it. So basically what's going to happen is that the knight goes here, we will play E4, and if they allow E5, and then we go after them with F4, F5.
Yeah, okay.
So this is basically attack on steroids times 2. That's what this is going to be. Seriously. Okay, so bishop A6, they are going after the C4 pawn, and as perhaps you already know, we have zero care about that. Like, we just can't be bothered acknowledging that. All right.
Okay, E5.
E5 is definitely one of the possible moves here. However, it's not necessarily the only one.
Well, our plan was to play F4, so why don't we play F4 then?
And you are correct about that too. Then again, if you want to play that sort of thing, I guess you would need to play E5 first, because it makes sense to kick the developed knight and then back it with F4, right?
Okay, then castles.
Not bad, actually. Not bad. Now, hear me out here. If you do this, what do you think you would do with black here?
Um,
which is a very, very stock standard idea in these types of positions.
F5?
Very good, very good. F5, absolutely brilliant stuff. So you absolutely have to do something to at least slow down the pawn avalanche. So
Yeah.
what F5 does is that it forces white to redirect the pawn avalanche toward the center. And I have seen a couple of games that went like this.
Oh.
Right? But this is nowhere near as obvious as it may appear to be that white is so much better here. I think I actually put a game like this in one of my courses. But if black manages to resolve the problem of this knight, which is usually g6, knight, g7, win a pawn, and then generate enough play before white comes up with something on the king side, this can be a very double-edged story.
I mean, could you just play G5, G4 there to try and hack away at F5?
You mean g4 here?
Yeah. Like take and then rook G1.
I think this check is going to be the main reason.
Oh, knight G3?
Yeah, I didn't mean it immediately. I will just take you and yeah, have a good time.
Okay.
Yeah, funnily enough, and this is another cool case, by the way, because people assume that you are free to play stuff like this because the center is fully closed. It actually isn't. I can...
Yeah, they have the...
potentially blast it open really, really brutal. Even d5. Karpov played d5s in positions like this. But maybe d6 is a calmer and better choice there. Yeah. Anyway, one thing that stands out in this story, by the way, in particular if I don't take, but even then, is that the bishop is buried behind white pawns no matter where I put it. Completely. Yep. And by the way, I cannot help but these associations, I think, help a lot to understand chess better. This motif plays a major role in many of the anti-Sicilians. For example, in the close Sicilian, a key defensive measure by black is that every time white gets ready for some major kingside hack with f5, we play f5.
You play f5.
And what this does is that it shuts this operation down completely. Completely kills white's kingside attack. Whereas if you don't do that, let's just say that we ignore it, then likely f5 breaks will create plenty of play for white. And again, by the way, the same idea applies to the Grand Prix attack, where very often you see
yes, I'm familiar with that.
white gearing up here for some major f. So for example, I castle f5 and we get mated, right?
Yeah.
Well, the engine says no, you don't, but it is very easy.
Yeah.
It is very easy to fall victim to that. Whereas, for example, you play h6, queen h4, f5, and it's a bit hairy with this bishop still on this diagonal being active, but you get the gist of it. This bishop is never gonna cross this border.
Yeah.
Or barrier, or call it whatever. So, yeah, this f5 idea is not alien at all in many of these scenarios, and the key concept, once again, is to poop on this bishop. Which is going to make you reconsider what we should do in this position. Hopefully.
Yeah, bishop g5 in that case.
I wasn't forcing it out of... Whoa.
Is that wrong?
No, it's just that a random YouTube video started playing in the background and I don't appreciate that. No, this is fully correct. That's exactly what you want. Because now you have a very meaningful pin. And your pawns will not bury your bishop alive. So that was played. h6, back obviously, yeah?
Yep.
g5. I know that you would like to say every single legal move under the sun except for bishop g3.
Well, if that's true, then I have to.
But let me save you some time. No.
Oh, it is bishop g3. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Fair
There
enough.
is a time for everything, and yeah, that was not the right time to go absolute gangbusters on that position yet. Okay, now, however, you get to be creative. By the way, funny I should say this.
Mm.
If I were to tell you that actually, you know what? Let's hang that bishop. What would you consider to be the most productive way to do so?
Um. Well, you're not going to like this.
Then don't say it.
I thought knight f4.
Oh, that I actually do like. That's incredibly clever or cute, but I don't really see what it yields if I.
Well, if you take, then I thought knight h5, challenge the knight, and then bring the queen to g4. But
Yeah, so basically after
maybe it's
takes.
too much.
Yeah, the knight f4 takes. I would play e5 here with black as soon as I could.
Okay, and I can't play e5 myself.
Maybe you can. Maybe you can.
I mean, that looks pretty good for white.
Yeah, I don't know,
But
man. I
I
don't.
can see that the engine disagrees.
I don't see how you want to kill me. Like queen g5 is gonna clog up everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love the tactical vision. In fact, this was played in a famous old game. I think Kotov.
No.
Kotov or Öve.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, one of those old. Yeah, they had this beautiful knight f4 idea, but not here. No, what you would want is queen d2.
Oh, I see. Yes. Okay, and then queen h6.
Right, and then after
Yeah.
takes queen h6, and e5 is quite pesky now. As you can see, the engine is not excited, but it doesn't hate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, so.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Oh no, I've closed my eyes.
Woo!
I've closed my eyes.
Alright, I just spoiled basically 40 minutes of hard work ahead of us. Beautifully done, coach. Beautiful. Okay, so bishop g3 played d6, and now we are in your capable hands, friend, to tell me how to conduct this attackerino.
Okay, well, I mean, e5 comes to mind.
e5?
Yeah.
Okay, can you add potentially some kind of lines to it, or just so that we have a degree of, you know?
Yeah, but actually, yeah, if black, so yeah, e5, then d5, d5. Where would the knight go? Maybe knight h5.
That is definitely possible, but I can also go after your e5 pawn.
Oh, yeah, with knight d7.
Yeah.
Yeah, enough after knight d7. Maybe f4.
Yeah, I like
Bishop
what you're
takes.
trying to do. And if takes,
Then knight takes.
and if then knight e5.
Queen. No, no. I thought queen h5. No, no, but then that hangs the bishop. Um, no, I don't think I can see anything there.
Yeah, that is a textbook case of close but no cigar.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
let's ditch this for a while and try something else.
h4.
All right, now we are getting somewhere. H4 does look like a very, very, very delicious attempt. What do you think Black would do or play in response?
Maybe g4. h4. I mean, they're not going to take. So.
What would you do? What would you play if they pushed?
Oh, I'd play h5.
Yes,
to stop them solidifying it.
and I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I do like that a lot. As a matter of fact, I really dislike you for calling h4 because it wasn't played, but this is the best move. So what do you want
Oh,
me to do?
okay.
Yeah, yeah, get out of here. Go and play chess tournaments. Uh,
Maybe there is there knight h5 there? But I can,
nah, I don't think so because yeah,
no,
that seems to
I
invite
will just
trouble.
take.
Take, and if queen takes, this is hanging.
Yeah.
Takes just builds our attack. Yeah, no, this is really strong. I don't know why they didn't do it. They did the reverse. They played F4.
So they did f4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
By the way, we are following this Zhao Jun
So I'm
Ziu
assuming.
Deshun game. Right, knight a5.
Yes.
What would you do?
Oh, knight a5. Yeah, that looks a little. That looks a little odd to me.
Well, that's the logical play from Black's perspective as far as hunting the pawn is concerned. Not so much as
Yeah,
far
but I
as...
mean,
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm trying to cover up this panel from you, but I just can't
yeah.
find a way to do that.
Can you click review maybe? Would that do it?
Yeah, but now we are going to get a lot of stuff when I play out the
Oh,
moves.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to look at
Yeah,
it.
just put a tape on your screen, basically.
Yeah.
Two-thirds of it on the right. Oh, double question mark. Hello, thank you for coming. Okay, thank God for clicking review.
Okay.
We are scarred for life now.
Oh, sorry. All right. Well, I mean, it seems to me that, yeah, I mean, you want to break up the king side, right? So we should just take like fg5.
I need lines, my friend.
Okay, so fg5, hg5, h4. And now black has the same problem as he did before. It's just worse now because he's only got one pawn there instead of two.
Where does it hurt to play better chess than a 2550? 2580, that's the only issue here that we have. So that was played.
Yeah.
However, h4 wasn't.
Oh. Okay.
I'm trying my best to come up with the goods.
Okay, queen d2.
But I'm falling short. I think queen d2 is logically well met by knight h5, and you need to watch this. And now you walked into c4 with the tempo as well. Now queen d2 is definitely not.
Okay. All right.
Not gonna do it.
It's not h4.
h4 is like best move by the engine's measure, and I can't fault it, and I don't want to. So it is what it is.
And I imagine e5 is still not. Actually,
what do you want to take back with?
Bishop.
And if then I go... Nah, e5 I go knight h5. I think.
Yeah. e5. e5, knight h5.
Look, I'm not suggesting that I'm having the time of my life here.
Yeah, I just want to free that e2 knight. Somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah, not so easy. Come to think of it, by the way, I might even be able to play knight g4. So that I could pop in on e3.
As in, if I play e5?
Yeah, e5, knight g4 with the idea of trying to come in here.
I mean, I feel like sacking that knight again, just so I can get my queen.
Yeah, I know,
My
I
queen to
know,
h5.
I know what you're trying to do, and it makes a lot of sense. Maybe knight f4 there too. Yeah,
Yeah, well, that's yeah.
it looks very delicious. I love this idea. Um,
So takes, bishop takes.
no, if takes, you take this.
Ah,
That's over. Now
so then what will you?
this is carnage. I have to go this way, I reckon.
Okay,
And even here, the question is knight f4.
yeah, knight f4. Then knight f4, knight f4.
Then bishop takes, and at that point, I think black needs to do something rather than take, which gets mated by queen check, and mate, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's my suggestion.
Maybe f5 here is a move. Wow, is this it?
F5.
I think I found it because the bar didn't move at all.
God. Okay, F5. F5. H4.
Look, there is only so much cuteness you can do here because now I managed to shut this out of the equation entirely. You are risking a loss here, so
Yeah,
I think
okay.
you have to accept your fate here and play queen
With
h5
queen
and
H5.
do this.
Wow.
And you I don't know, you might be able to take this. I don't think you can.
Yeah, because then rook F7.
Yeah, we can pick off f5, but it doesn't look to me satisfactory. So perhaps I do get away with murder here with black if you play e5. Is the long story short, they castled instead.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Which, if you think about it, is not stupid, given that they played f4, right? And then they took on g5.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have a big...
I think I was still fixated on the H4 thing, so I wanted to keep the rook on H1.
And fair enough. H4 was great, but once we discard h4, or not discard, but we go like, well, it's not gonna cut it.
Yeah, then... Okay,
then we have to adjust. Well, now you preempted all the fun for me because you are already being too smart. You're not allowed to say knight f4. It's legally not on the cards, okay?
Okay.
By the way, for the record, knight f4, potentially best, at worst case scenario, second best move.
Okay.
Right? Now, after knight g3, how do you beat me?
After knight g3. Knight g3. Queen g... no, because then knight f1. Knight g3. I mean, I guess I can just take it.
As in, take back?
Yeah.
And if I take?
I'll take that too.
Which I shouldn't, but I will.
Well, I'll take that too. Or maybe queen g4.
Well, maybe...
Actually, yeah, I'd play queen g4 first.
Give me a line.
Yeah, so knight g3, hg3, gf, queen g4, king h8, then e5, e5, f5.
Hold on.
Mm.
Whilst I don't disapprove of e5, there is a smarter and better way, I think, to set up a mate right there.
After queen g4.
Mm-hmm.
So queen g4, king h8.
I tell you why too, because anytime you play e5, I can play f5.
All right, yeah.
I think I found a really cunning idea there.
Well, what I want to do is somehow get the queen to h6 so I can play rook f6 and stop f5, but that's probably too complicated.
Yes, you are
Uh,
absolutely overcooking it. You want mate.
yeah, so queen g4, king h8. I mean, okay, queen. Yeah, queen h5, king g8. Rook f4 probably.
Yeah, those were the lines alongside which I was thinking too.
Yeah.
I didn't like it because it was longer than the one that I thought I had found afterwards, and also even after rook f4, I may be able to play f5 and elongate the misery a little bit longer. When you have got a scenario, my friend, like take, check, and king on h8,
Mm.
naturally what you want is a rook on the h file.
Oh, right. So it's king f2 and rook h1.
That's what I thought it
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
I may
yeah.
I may
Okay.
be wrong. I don't know, but I thought that king f2 here was a too nice opportunity to miss, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And just rook h1 mate is unstoppable. It's a bit counterintuitive because you expect checks to work, but
Yeah, 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 yeah. Fair
that
enough.
that is
That's nice.
that is pretty specky, right?
Mm. Okay, so
So I'm still trying to find a. Oh yeah, I think I know. I need to take this. You take, and then I play
yeah,
f6. I think this is my
f6.
only I mean, I feel like I need to wash my mouth after saying these words, but I think this is my only chance, and then put the queen on the seventh and say lots of prayers.
Yeah. Wow, okay.
All of them.
Mm. Mm. So
So
probably queen, yeah, still queen g4 here.
g4.
Queen.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't want it to take the bishop just yet.
Actually, queen g4 is definitely better than h5 because queen h5 is met by queen e8.
Yeah, so maybe queen g4.
Yeah, and then maybe queen e7,
Queen e7.
and then h4 if
Oh,
worst comes to worst.
no, but this is no. This would be nuts, right? So queen g4, queen e7, bishop d6, queen d6. No, it doesn't work. I was
Yeah.
going to go rook f6 and then queen g5 to pick the rook, but you can't because there's king f7.
Yeah,
Um,
bishop takes d6 is definitely an idea to decoy the queen, but I don't think it works yet.
yeah.
Let's just leave it as white is really doing great here,
Okay.
if not outright winning. But there was another idea here that was played in the game, which was absolutely fantastically spectacular.
Ah, okay. So I got to sack something.
And it's I actually prefer the way you went about it, because that was more of the let's murder the king type of approach.
So I have to sack a piece. Well,
Actually, I was talking rubbish, by the way, in the previous line, because when I said f6, queen h5 is met by queen e8, I hung the pawn on d6.
ah,
But then again, to me it feels like black is surviving that, or at least we have to, because in order to capture that you have to take the queen first,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's a swear word in the context, right?
yeah. Yes.
Right.
Um, okay. Well, piece sacks. Well, there's bishop h4. Um, and I'm just looking for crazy stuff now, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, bishop e5. Not that I
I
have lines.
definitely chose the wrong kind of material for you. Next
Um,
500 lessons will be games by Ulf Andersson and Karpov only. Sometimes I'll spice it up with a little bit of Smyslov.
yeah, that's right. Nothing gets taken. It's just maneuvering.
Well, and nothing is gonna be hung. Like
Yeah.
Your opponent has no chance to capture.
Well, look, if knight f4 was I mean, not bishop f4, is it?
No. No, you need to have purpose
Yeah, okay.
behind your craziness. It's not just crazy for crazy's sake.
Um, hmm.
This is the actual line where you need to do all those crazy cool things that you wanted to do in the previous one, except there they were completely unnecessary. The line where king f2 1 and you wanted to play e5 and block the things and do like go full Fischer Banker.
Uh,
That was not needed there. Here it is. So I will show you the first one, and we will put the jigsaw
okay.
puzzles together afterwards. So
Oh,
she took this.
okay. So, all right. So queen d6, then e5,
Mm-hmm.
then queen e7, then rook f6. No.
When I
Oh,
say
maybe.
she, I meant it's a he. By the way,
Um,
it's not Zhao Zhuwei, it's Zhao Jun. So different.
maybe it is.
So what do we do after queen d6?
Oh, e5,
Queen e7.
and then queen e7. Well, my instinct was rook f6, but rook f6 just gets taken.
Yes.
Um, okay, so maybe not rook f6 just yet. Maybe knight g3 first.
Hmm.
Uh, knight g3. So if knight g3, if knight g3, knight f4.
Are you sure about that?
Oh no, because I'll sack. I'm definitely rook f4.
Okay, finish that line for me.
Rook f4, gf4, queen g4. King
Keep going.
h8. Oh, uh, queen h5 and mate.
Yeah, thank you. Good.
Yeah, right.
Okay, goody. So what
Yeah,
are they gonna do after knight g3?
they'll take it.
Right.
So knight g3, knight g3. Um, Rook f6.
What's the threat after rook f6?
Hang on, I've slightly lost the line here. Um, sorry, it's very embarrassing.
What happens when you're
Yes,
sacking 400 pieces?
yeah, e5 queen, yeah, queen e7, knight g3, knight g3. uh, yeah, actually no, maybe, but I really don't want him to play f5. Um, well, the other thing I thought was to actually just take hg3, put king on f2 and rook on h1 like we did in the other line.
Right, I hear all of this, but why are you jumping now back and forth between different ideas? Have you proven rook f6 wrong?
No,
Then
no, I haven't.
why are we shifting?
Um, yeah, okay.
Like
Well, after knight
you
g3,
just went full genius and then you just abandoned it for no
no,
reason.
no, no, no. So yeah, no, no, I just didn't go far enough, right? So after rook f6, he's got a hanging knight.
Yep.
So maybe knight f, yeah, maybe knight f5.
Yeah, that's a good place to start, I reckon.
Knight f5, queen h5.
Hmm.
F5, queen H5. I mean,
Let's go bishop takes c4 just for funsies sake.
oh, bishop C4. Wow, okay.
No, just to give you something to work with.
Okay. Oh, look. Bishop C4. Oh, I'm silly. Just queen G5. Sorry. I'm an idiot.
Go on.
Yeah, queen G5, king H8.
Why not? Whoa, 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 whoa. Is king h8 my best move there?
Well, oh, you want knight G7? Yeah, knight G7. Then queen H6.
Isn't someone's bishop hanging?
Yeah. Okay. Well, knight G7. Bishop C2.
Nah, that's not good enough.
Doesn't have to take it. Okay, knight G7.
You need to go a step further back, friend.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, after knight F5 or before knight F5.
No, I said one step back, not 45. So queen takes g5, knight g7 is what you need to take back.
Okay. So, all right. So it's not queen G5.
Yes, that is correct.
All right.
Since knight g7 appears to be a problem, why don't we deal with the problem?
Oh, just take it.
Line, please.
Okay. Well, then rook F5, EF5, bishop F5.
What? Why rook?
Because you should sack the exchange.
Look,
I don't know.
there are
It seems
opinions.
fancier.
The opinions vary about the purpose of a chess game. Some swear by checkmate. Others go with sack as much as you can, regret it in the end.
Okay, bishop F5.
Yeah,
Bishop F5.
I'm all ears.
EF5. Okay, now queen G5.
Yeah.
Yeah, king. I mean, king H8, rook H6.
Yeah, so it looks like checkmate does finish the game, yeah?
Yes, it does.
So,
Wow.
the point of, queen H5 here was to eliminate F5 and then queen G5, rook H6 mate. And it's completely unstoppable.
Gosh, what a game.
Oh, that's not how it went. The game is a lot better.
Oh.
Yeah. So after.
So what's the mistake?
What do you mean?
Well, as in I've obviously not made the best moves for black.
No. I actually don't know how it went. Let me see. Oh, they took on G3, rook F6, and they played king G7. Right. Yeah. Which makes a lot of sense because it threatens to swing the rook across to deal with, and also then vacating F8, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So
yes.
you need to remain precise.
Well, I still want queen H5.
That's a little bit hanging. Not much.
I know. So I should take the knight first.
I don't
But
think
then rook H8, right?
I don't think there is anything wrong with it. right? So there is a point where you need to realize, and a lot of club level players struggle with this, by the way, when you give up on the first wave of the attack succeeding in terms of accomplishing a checkmate in order to accomplish a completely overwhelming position.
Right.
And on low level, you find that this level of, or this sort of transition, which is basically just transitioning sideways, going from winning to winning, happens to cause a lot of distress and feeling negative about it, or a feel of non-accomplishment. I don't know a better word for it.
You're making the perfect the enemy of the good, in a sense.
Yeah, so basically the best course of action here is to go queen g4, mate. Right?
Okay.
And then just go like, whatever, bruv. Like, I'm just gonna go rook f1 next. Good luck.
Yeah.
And, there are 400 threats on the board. So they played queen g4, rook g8 was played, takes.
Okay, king f...
And knight b7. Obviously, the idea is to find a defender for f7.
And he's not going to go king f8 just to get the king out of there?
Look, if you go... I mean, okay, you can do the honors. What would you do with white now?
Maybe bishop h7. Or rook f1.
I mean, come on, rook f1 is a no-brainer, right? Yeah, what does black do now? How do you finish me after king here?
King e8, yeah.
I don't know, that's makes perfect sense to me.
Okay, well, the first thing that comes to mind is... Well, the first thing that comes to mind is rook f7, but I think black will gladly give the queen for the two rooks.
Nah, you're talking nonsense here, senor, because rook f7 is a way too forcing line, which you cannot just dismiss with, oh, they are happy to give up the queen for two rooks.
Okay.
It's like a vastly irrelevant fact of what they're happy with and not. This is the time. This is crunch time. Like, there is nothing here in the proper chess world other than lines and evaluations.
Okay. So well, rook f7, queen f7, rook f7, king f7, queen h5.
Stop there for a second. Is queen h5 your only very logical check? That is another move that a lot of club players would miss because instinctively they want to go forward.
there's queen f3.
Right, now why is that so attractive?
Well, because it threatens the rook on a8 for starters.
That's one thing, and the second is that if they go king e7, you will have a queen f6 check, which you wouldn't have had if you had played queen h5.
e5, yeah.
So queen f3 check, yeah. King e7 is only, otherwise the rook hangs.
Yeah, so queen f6 queen check, f6.
King d7.
Queen f7.
Very good. King c6.
Queen e6.
No.
Oh, sorry, d5.
No.
Oh my God, bishop e4.
Sorry. Thank you for mating one. Thank you. Now, when you reflect on this is really a seriously good time to consider, comments like, oh, they're happy to give the quiz. I don't care. And nor do you.
Yeah.
I am not interested in their general feelings about material imbalances and what they're happy to do or not. I'm looking at this because this is the most forcing move, and I'm calculating the heck out of it, because if it works, it's made. So you can't possibly not look into this on account of, oh, they would be very happy to get rid of with their queen for two rooks. It's like, and I can't care less about what makes them happy. Because I'm looking for mate. That's what makes me happy. So that is more or less the reason why they tried this knight b7 shenanigan.
I see.
But this is going to be a textbook case of out of the frying pan into the fire. Rook f1 needs no rationalization.
Yeah.
98. And now is the time to shine.
Well, I mean, Queen G5 looks pretty decent.
I don't disagree, but you know that looks decent is not gonna cut it for me anymore. I want lines,
Hmm.
conclusions, evaluations, all that shindig.
I mean, what about Queen E4?
Hmm. I
With the
like.
idea of, so you're threatening the rook, whatever, right? But also there's Queen H7. And if he tries to get away, then you do have Rook F7.
Okay, so
Rook
Queen
F7, Rook
E4
F7.
played. I would like to save you some time now.
Ah, okay.
And they played, if I remember correctly, Queen B7 here. Um, yes.
Queen B7, okay. Rook G6.
Hmm. I love the way you think. Rook G6 is an absolutely sensational idea in terms of motifs. But I don't think it does much damage if I drop back, right?
Well, I would probably go Rook G8 at that point.
Yeah, take, check, I walk.
I mean,
I don't find it convincing at all.
fair enough.
I mean, you're more than welcome to argue
Yeah,
that.
prove you wrong. No, no, I probably won't be able to. Um,
You actually should be, because there is a bishop e4 in the end.
you will have to explain that part.
Rook here, check, and then bishop e4.
Ah, I see, yeah.
Yeah? But check this out, because this is a very instructive moment
Okay.
in the game. They just play d5.
Oh,
And they just go like, well, what are you gonna move? This can't move. This can't move. This can't move. This can't move.
D5.
And in a lot of lines, this is gonna be handy because you have extra pressure here. In some variations where the king escapes, you will have an extra
Yeah.
super imphy check,
Mm.
right? So, boy oh boy, it's gonna hurt. It is gonna hurt.
Wow. D5 is
For
great.
example, after ED, the landscape is going to change quite drastically. I won the winning line here. Do you have still some time?
Uh, yes.
Ish.
Yeah.
Too much fun is being had. Good.
I know. Um,
I put on the ultimate teaser. So how is this line different from what it was before? That's the question. It's a slightly leading question, but whatever.
well, here, well, you can push the e-pawn this time, which you couldn't before.
So can you provide a line for my
Yeah,
entertainment,
so
please?
Queen H7, King F8,
Mm-hmm.
E6.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean,
You're
I
more
wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to take that with black.
you're more than welcome to say, and it's time to draw the curtains.
Yeah, I mean that's. I think that's probably resignable.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. So what they did was that they played this move to
Okay.
dodge the check. And now you are going to come up with something incredibly sexy.
Oh, gee. Okay. Well, I just want to play. I just want to play Rook G6 again.
No, it's
Um,
sexier than that.
Sexier than Rook G6.
Yep.
Okay. Um, Rook F5, as in Rook 1 to
No,
F5.
no, we need to stay in the realm of sensibility. I mean, look at 5, I just take it. Doesn't offer you anything that you didn't have before.
Yes, it does, because after Queen F5, I can push the E6 pawn now. As in, I'm only playing that to get rid of his E6 pawn.
Nah. You are going now into.
I'm in La La Land.
La
Okay.
La Land big time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, if we were to do proper solving here instead of you trying to figure out the most ridiculous move on the board, then the first candidate move here is Rook F7. If you don't do it like that, you're not doing it properly, because that's a check and a capture. Therefore, your first candidate.
Yeah.
Right? And Rook F7,
Oh, I just
Knight
assumed it
F7,
wasn't
Queen
that.
G6, check, King F8, D takes E6, and we can put the pieces back in the box. Over.
Okay.
Right? That's it. Now, this is second best.
Yeah, well, but that's not sexy.
I mean, a lot of people.
I mean, it's great, but it's not.
Well, then tell me what's sexier than this, because there is not a lot of move. Like Rook F5 is not sexier than Rook F7. Rook F5 is tryharding.
Okay.
Rook G6 is sexy, but it's not quite cutting it, and yeah.
Okay.
That was a hint.
Oh, okay. So it's Queen G6 then.
Of course it is Queen G6.
But I want to hang on. I need to figure out the line.
All right, off you go.
Queen G6, King F8.
No. No one wants to play King F8, man. Like King F8, D takes E6 is game over. The challenge is what happens if they accept the queen.
Well, if they accept the queen, then it's Rook G6, King
H7. By the way, I must add this here before you calculate it out. I never understand why people after Queen G6 start calculating this. Like, no one does that. Ever. That you sack a queen and the first thing you check is not what happens if they accept it.
Well, because black knows that there's something up.
But
right?
that's irrelevant because
G6, right?
no.
So they shouldn't take.
No, that's not how chess works. Chess works is right or wrong. In order to figure out if this is right, you need to see what happens if they take it.
Well, okay, Queen G6, FG6, Rook G6.
And as you will find out, it's nowhere near as obvious as it may appear at first.
King H7.
Mm-hmm.
King H7, then Rook. How does one say that? Is it that's Rook F to F6? Yeah, Rook F to X6, F6.
I'm not so sure if
that's not right. Okay,
I'm with you on that one. Like, I know what you're trying to do, but again, the fact that you're not trying to give a mate with checks is not good. Like
Rook G5 check.
Yeah,
Rook
of course.
G5 check.
I know that you wanted to make Rook G5 a mate, but yeah, I had a lot of moves there to try.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So after Rook G6, King H7, Rook G5 check.
Mm-hmm.
King H6.
Very good.
After King H6. Is it Rook G6 again? No, he'll go to H7. Well, if he goes to H7, then I'll go Rook G4 check, Rook H6, Rook F6.
You mean king
It's,
h6?
yeah, sorry, king h6, rook f6, king h5. Ah, king h5. God's sakes. Rook h4, king g5, rook g6, and that's mate.
Bingo, baby!
Oh, wow.
See, that needed a bit of work,
Yes, it did.
right? So it
Sorry, it
was
took me way
like
too
this is
long.
quite subtle. This triple
Yeah,
check with the rook, yeah, check, 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 and then back here to
yeah.
keep enough distance so you can pick the other
Yes.
big boy in and then mate. Very
Yeah.
good. What's the mate here after king h5?
Um, king f2 and rook h1.
You sure?
Nope.
Good.
Um,
King f2, queen f7 is a very good way to bring tease to
oh,
someone's eyes, and it's not your opponent.
yes, fair enough. um,
The idea you're trying to do is doable at least two different ways.
rook f4 and rook h4.
That's one of them.
Yeah.
And I think g4 check,
Yeah,
king
I
h4, and
was
then rook
thinking
f3 is
cross.
also
Yeah.
doing the damage. In fact, ooh, prettiest of all would be this with g3 mate next. Ouchie.
That's great.
That is a testimony to how useless these pieces are to defend, right?
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah, I'll take
Yeah,
it.
very
I'll
nice.
take it. So that's how this marvelous piece ended,
Wow.
my friend. I think it was good times, right?
Oh, it's a fantastic game.
It was
Wow.
a mighty good one, despite some of the mistakes White made. But I think it was a really, really cool one. Well done,
Yeah,
sir. Well done.
brilliant.
I'll
Brilliant.
let you go now and do what you need to do.
Excellent. Thanks so much.
The pleasure was mine. Take care.
Alrighty.
Alrighty,
Bye.
cheerio. Bye. Alrighty, well guys, that was 1 hour of Attack Like a Beast with Lucas and myself. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you in the next. Please don't forget to sub, to like, to leave a comment down below. Cheerio, bye.